The Pelicans have a golden opportunity to gain an advantage in the Southwest Division by winning against a team that is currently rebuilding but still have enough pieces to give the Pelicans trouble. We're going to take a look at the San Antonio Spurs as we continue our preview of the Southwest Division of the NBA inside this edition of Pelicans Digest. What's good with it, my people? It's your people, Melz On The MIC, back once again inside Pelicans Digest at about a 60 to 70% on the health tip. Hopefully, I'll be at full strength, just like the Pelicans will be when we get to the season in October, and we're keeping you updated with what's going on with the Pelicans every day here with Pelicans Digest. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button if you haven't done it yet. This is where you get the best analysis, opinions, and more about the New Orleans Pelicans. So to the 70% that haven't subscribed yet, what are you waiting for, baby? Hit that subscribe button and come join us. It's Melz talking about those Pels, and we are currently in the middle of doing a series the teams in the Southwest Division with the Pelicans and the preview on how the Pels match up against those teams. So we've already done one on Memphis, which I believe is probably the most evenly matched team in the Southwest Division with the Pelicans. But I still think the Pelicans have enough to at least have a winning record against Memphis this upcoming season. The next team I want to cover is another team that I think the Pelicans match up very well against. They're currently in the middle of a rebuild, but they are capable of giving the Pelicans problems, and it's a team that's constantly and still improving because they do have one big superstar centerpiece, and I'm talking about the San Antonio Spurs and Victor Wembanyama. As you know, Victor Wemby, as we all know, has come as advertised. The brother is a killer out there, but last season he had to deal with blood clot issues, which limited his usage last season. The Pelicans in those games last season, in the 4 games that they matched up against, went 2-2. They lost the first one opening in the season with San Antonio. That's when they had Wemby. The other 3 games they didn't have Wembanyama, and the Pelicans were able to go 2-1 in those games, being led mostly by Zion Williamson and Dejounte Murray. And also the fact that San Antonio, outside of Wemby last season, didn't have a real front court. They focused mainly heavily on guards. They picked up Vassell and also Fox, De'Aaron Fox as well, and also Harrison Barnes. They also had Chris Paul last season as well, and it just didn't work out for them. But it did improve from Wemby's rookie season. They had a 12-game win improvement last season. So with some of the moves that they made this all season, they are looking to improve on that 38-win season last season. Which was 34, should I say. It was 34 wins that they had last season, which is borderline playoff. Borderline playoff. Of course, that's because the Pelicans, of course, was all injured and often injured, but they have enough pieces to where they could compete and still rise up this upcoming season. I still think that the Pelicans, though, will have a good shot at beating this team, and at least, if they're fully healthy all season long, at least sweeping this team this season. It's possible, and I'll explain to you why in a couple of minutes. As a matter of fact, let's go ahead and start with this fact that I came across while I was doing my research from Jeff McDonald of the San Antonio Express News. He said the Spurs boasted one of the league's best defenses with Wembanyama on the floor last season, but when he's off the floor, even for a few minutes, Spurs opponents quickly found the layup line open at the rim. So what did the Spurs do to address this? Well, they went and picked up Kelly Olynyk, because Kelly Olynyk was one of those players last season that beat up on the San Antonio Spurs, especially when the Pelicans played them. There was a game back on February 23rd where the Pelicans finished the game with 69 rebounds. Total, the whole game, 69 rebounds. No Wembanyama in the game. All right? This was a front court with Zion, Kelly Olynyk, and Missy. All right? So with that many stops, that tells me that this team is capable of doing more this season against San Antonio because you improved the front court for the most part. Now you have Zion. You paired him with, you can either go with Missy or, in this case, you want to sign a better rebounder in Kevon Looney. And you can also pair him up with Queen, who's hopefully working on his defense, but also add some offensive depth to the team. Because I want to point out something real quick, because Willie Green said this in his post-game press conference after that win. According to David Grubb, he said head coach Willie Green was quick to highlight the significance of that 69 rebound performance. He says, we could get defensive stops, but the finished possessions is huge for us. close to 70 rebounds and 52 defensive rebounds. It's evident we're getting stops and contesting shots. Now, if a majority of those rebounds were defensive rebounds, that's good. But again, this season you signed a player in Kevon Looney, and also another player, if I may add. You signed Kevon Looney, okay? He's one of the best offensive rebounding players in the league, so that's going to help you right there. But I think this is the guy that's going to be very pivotal in helping us beat the Spurs in a lot of games this upcoming season. It's Saddiq Bey coming off the bench. Saddiq Bey is a quality three-point shooter, and he also is a big body that can get into the post and possibly battle with Wembanyama at some points, or one of the other forwards that they have with San Antonio, okay? So I like that you made this improvement in this signing with Saddiq Bey. This is where I think these are the games against San Antonio and Wembanyama where Saddiq Bey is going to play a factor and getting him to the line, especially in those non-Wembanyama minutes. Now, one thing I do want to point out is the guard play. San Antonio is stacked and got a lot of young talented guards and wing players on their team with Vassell and Castle. And I think they picked up another rookie. I can't think of his name right now. I think it's Dylan something. I can't think of his name right now. But they got a lot of talented wings and guards on their team. But one person I'm not worried about is De'Aaron Fox. I'm not worried about De'Aaron Fox. De'Aaron Fox did damage to the Pelicans throughout his career when he was with Sacramento, but you saw what happened to him in the playoffs, where he was able to get guys on him and shut him down. Last season, it was the same situation. Good guard play, only limited De'Aaron Fox to 13 and 15 points in 2 games that he played against the Pelicans last season. Again, against a decimated roster, they were still able to find a way to neutralize him. Now at full strength, I think you can still have enough pieces with Murray and Jordan Poole. If Jordan Poole wants to play a little defense, you can still neutralize De'Aaron Fox. So the question comes down to front court play and who can and who's going to step up as far as in the guard and wing positions to shut down De'Aaron Fox. I think this also comes down to, with the Pelicans, experience. You have a team that's mostly rebuilding against a team with, again, the Pelicans. You can say what you want about nobody on this team is over the age of 30. All these guys are still experienced. Just about everybody on this roster has been in the league at least more than 2 or 3 years now. So all these guys are experienced enough to shut down this young upcoming team. They just got to play smart. Plus, they got a new coach, new everything. If the Pelicans can at least win these 4 games against San Antonio, which I think they can. I think they had the pieces there. They can be healthy the whole way around and win those 4 games against San Antonio, then that's going to be a good start. Because, again, I'm of the opinion that you have to these 16 games in division are going to be crucial to the Pelicans getting into the playoffs, because everyone in the Southwest Division has gotten better. Every team has gotten better in some way, shape, or form. Pelicans included. The question is scheme and certain impact players, in my opinion. That's going to come down to us handling the Spurs. I think Wembanyama's still going to do his thing. Wemby's going to do his. The guy's too big. The guy's too long. His skill set is too crazy to say that. But that's still a space for him to get neutralized and in the front court. And I think we've added enough pieces with Saddiq Bey, Looney, Queen, and with Zion as well, and Missy, that you can neutralize their front court. So I think it's going to really, really, at the end of the day, to be honest with you, come down to the guards. Will Jordan Poole be able to score against this team? Will Fears be able to get busy and do some things? That's one of the big questions. But I do think the Pels can have a winning record as well against San Antonio and Memphis. The other 2 Texas teams are going to be the other 2 teams, Houston and Dallas, is going to be something deeper where we might have some problems at. And I'm going to get into that in a future video. But what are your thoughts right now on the San Antonio Spurs and how the Pels may match up against them next season? Do you see the Pels doing well against this team? We only got 4 games against them. Can they get past them in those 4 games to elevate higher into the division? Or do you think Wemby's going to just give us all the smoke and we're going to be having problems with them all season long? Clap back with your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video with your fellow Pels fans. It's Melz talking about them Pels right here on Pelicans Digest. Holler back at your boy. We'll be checking in with you again soon.